The president's budget plan for fiscal year 2016 isn't a huge shakeup overall, and much of it probably won't fly with the Republican Congress. But if approved, it would mean some big funding changes for parts of the government. At first, that additional defense funding doesn't look like much, but keep in mind the U.S. has by far the world's largest military budget, about 1/3 of all the world's defense spending and as much as the next 9 nations combined. The president's budget would blow through the spending cap set by sequestration, tacking another $38 billion onto the Pentagon budget. The costly and controversial F-35 fighter would get more funding too. It all adds up to a defense budget about 7% larger than last year's, especially notable because the end of the wars in the Middle East were supposed to bring a decrease, not increase, in military spending. The 2016 plan also gives an especially large boost to a department we don't hear much about: housing and urban development. The department would get an extra $6.2 billion to use for neighborhood redevelopment. The money is also meant for a program to house the homeless, something HUD Secretary Julian Castro often talks about.
And we'll keep fighting until they get the fair chance they deserve to achieve the American dream.
The State Department would also get a healthy bump, about 15%. That's partly to deal with a new focus on foreign policy the last year has brought, namely conflicts with Russia and ISIS. So who lost funding? For one, the Small Business Administration, which comparably didn't have much funding to begin with. The budget cut is part of a larger reshuffling that would throw the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, into the Interior Department, a bit of bureaucratic redecorating. Overall, the president's plan would increase the federal budget just a bit to $3.99 trillion. Most of those ideas in the plan have already met staunch resistance from lawmakers.
Until he gets serious about solving our long-term spending problem, it's hard to take him seriously.
And this year is the first year Obama will be pitching that proposal to a Congress controlled entirely by Republicans.